Now at 9, a ribbon cutting today at the new Amphitheater. Our Grace Minkowski is live at tonight's event.
We have updates to construction on the new downtown YMCA.
Hunter Biden plans to plead not guilty on federal gun charges. What the timeline for the hearings are.
World leaders met today at the UN General Assembly. What are the major topics at the meeting?
And summer days are here again. I'll tell you when. I have mid-80s in my full forecast.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Tonight, a ribbon cutting for the new Brown Family Amphitheater on campus. As you can see, this is our live cam. That event has just wrapped up, but from the sounds of it, it was an amazing concert, tons of fantastic crowds. Good evening, thanks for being with us. I'm Olivia Sloniker.
And I'm Camille Thompson. Tonight's ribbon cutting included food trucks and a performance from the jazz band, along with exclusive tours of the stage.
NewsLink Indiana's Grace Minkowski joins us live from the amphitheater, but she's telling us there's another accomplishment being celebrated tonight. Grace, what do you have for us?
Olivia and Camille, as you can see behind me, this amphitheater is an impressive addition to Ball State's campus, but even performing here for the very first time after the grand opening is an impressive accomplishment for one Ball State alumni.
Taking center stage at the grand opening Tuesday night was Tatum Langley, jazz singer, touring performer, and class of 2021 graduate. Langley graduated with her BFA in musical theater. While she completed the program, she spent some of her time in the School of Music, singing with the jazz band.
I sang with them for my junior and senior year, singing here on campus at some concerts, as well as some venues in Indianapolis, like Fountain Square, their swing dance nights.
After tossing her graduation cap, Langley worked in theme park entertainment and local theaters before she grabbed the microphone in Chicago a little over a year ago. Now, Langley performs big band jazz songs professionally across the Windy City and the country.
I also went on tour with the group Postmodern Jukebox this past summer, which has been crazy.
With all of her milestones under her belt, Langley is honored to have the chance to perform back home in the nest.
It's very gratifying to be back here. I'm honored to be here, to be the one singing at this opening. The venue's gorgeous, the band is amazing, and it's Ball State, so what could go wrong?
Things are wrapping up here behind me. As you can see at the amphitheater, they're packing up some of the chairs from the band and just getting the stage clear. Now, more performances are going to be coming soon to this amphitheater. Trust me, this is not the only one that's coming. You can find more dates for future concerts here on the Ball State University calendar. Thanks so much, guys. Grace Minkowski, live on campus, NewsLink, Indiana.
Thank you so much, Grace. That weather looked absolutely stunning. I saw the video from the concert earlier. It was a beautiful day for a concert. Don't you agree?
It looked amazing out. I knew it would have been fun to be out there with everybody.
Yeah, and I know temperatures are warming up. NewsLink Indiana's Ryan Hill has our weather. Ryan, what do you got?
Oh man, it was music to the eyes, ears, and all the senses. Oh baby, look at all this. Look at how warm it is, especially if you're a fan of summer. 16 degrees warmer than it was just this time yesterday. Absolutely crazy. But on our radar, folks, we do have some clouds, maybe some showers, but it's possible that because it's dry in the lower levels, that could pop out as something called Virgo, a little bit of evaporating precipitation. So we're going to track whether we're going to be dodging some drops or not. We're going to take it back to the 80s. I'll show you how hot that's going to be, and then parched, but for how long? When are our chances of rain in the full forecast coming up later on? Guys, back over to you.
Thank you, Ryan. We have an update on the downtown YMCA's construction process. This location had their doors closed permanently for a little over a month now, and while this sends locals to the Northwest location, YMCA of Muncie CEO and President Chad Zaucha says that a new and improved location is on the way. Zaucha, with the help from Muncie Community Schools, IU Health, and neighboring Muncie resource groups, plan to create a, quote, world-class social gathering hub for well-being with the new facility. Construction has yet to be started, but we can expect the new location to be at the Muncie Fieldhouse at Muncie Central High School, just a 3-minute drive from the old location. The facility is projected to open up to the public about 18 months from now in March of 2025.
Now to your national headlines. Russia's raging war in Ukraine, political instability in several African nations, and a series of climate disasters among the laundry list of crises facing the United Nations General Assembly this week. But as world leaders from more than 140 nations gather in New York to try and confront those issues, fractures among the global superpowers are likely to delay any progress. Gloria Pezmino is in New York with the latest.
With the litany of crises facing the United Nations General Assembly,
our world is becoming unhinged.
Hope of progress on critical global issues is dim.
And we seem incapable of coming together to respond.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres decrying the stark divisions, violence, and chaos preventing progress on significant global crises, like climate change.
Our world needs statesmanship, not gamesmanship and gridlock.
President Joe Biden echoing the demand for action in the wake of multiple natural disasters.
Together, these snapshots tell an urgent story of what awaits us if we fail to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels.
While also affirming U.S. commitment to upholding democratic values and calling on member nations to stand up against Russia as it continues to wage war in Ukraine.
If we allow Ukraine to be carved up, is the independence of any nation secure?
In historic remarks to the Assembly, Ukrainian President Zelensky pleaded for more support.
We have a real chance to end the aggression on the terms of the nation which was attacked.
And warned of consequences if Russia's power goes unchecked.
When hatred is weaponized against one nation, it never stops there.
While some question the actual power and influence of the United Nations, the need for global cooperation, according to Biden, is clear.
We know our future is bound to yours. And no nation can meet the challenges of today alone.
In New York, I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
Russian President Vladimir Putin not in attendance this week as he faces the threat of arrest for war crimes if he leaves Russia. But concerns over Russia extends beyond Ukraine as Moscow's influence has expanded following military coups in recent years in several African nations.
The Republican-controlled House Oversight Panel will hold its first hearing in its impeachment inquiry into President Biden on September 28th. A committee spokesperson says next week's hearing will focus on the constitutional and legal questions. Subpoenas to members of the Biden family are also in the works. Now, this marks the first direct outreach to members of the Biden family and are expected to be for their personal and business records. Republicans have made Hunter Biden's business dealings a central component of the inquiry, but there is no public evidence that the president personally received any money.
Hunter Biden plans to plead not guilty to federal gun charges, that according to a court filing today. President Joe Biden's son is asking for his initial court appearance to be held remotely. Hunter Biden was last indicted last week by special counsel David West in connection with a gun he had purchased in 2018. Biden is accused of lying on a federal form, saying he was not using or addicted to illegal drugs, even though he was struggling with crack cocaine addiction at the time of purchase. It's the first time in U.S. history for the Justice Department to charge the child of a sitting president.
A report shows many Americans have a negative view on the nation's politics.
And how AI may be incorporated into national security. All this and more after the break.
I love you!
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas.
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Quote, divisive and corrupt. Those are the words Americans use to describe the current political climate in the country. That dismal conclusion comes from a new Pew Research Center report released today. The authors say Americans have an unrelentingly negative view of politics and elected officials, and they don't think things will get better anytime soon. Now, 14% of adults surveyed believe most elected officials care about the thoughts of people like them, and only 14% think political leaders ran for office because of a desire to serve the public. Instead, a majority think their elected representatives are only in politics to make money.
Artificial intelligence and our national security. What are the risks of this new age of innovation, and how can AI potentially help our national defense?
Today, senators are seeking more ways to minimize potential dangers in a Senate intelligence hearing. Mike Valerio has the angles covered for us from Silicon Valley and from today's action on Capitol Hill.
From Silicon Valley to the Senate.
We must equally grapple with the disruptions, ethical dilemmas, and potential dangers of this technology.
Experts described the need to regulate AI so that the breathtaking speed and breadth of tasks AI can perform helps, not harms, national security.
In the 21st century, the general or spy who doesn't have a model by their side is basically as helpless as a blind man in a bar fight.
Even President Biden at the UN General Assembly today, speaking of a need
to make sure we govern this technology, not the other way around, having it govern us.
The Pentagon's chief digital and AI officer told the House last week AI should not be viewed as an all-encompassing solution or a fearful spring of problems.
It is very important to remember that AI is neither a panacea nor a Pandora's box. And if we think about it that way, we're not thinking about it correctly and we're not going to be able to tackle the problem.
But what we've seen so far from Washington is trouble identifying which AI risks need to be regulated, largely because AI's capabilities are constantly changing.
AI's risks are broad because its applications are so broad, and these risks range from risks related to fraud and information integrity. They include risks related to safety and security.
I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Advisors to the FDA are meeting this week to discuss artificial wombs. They will look at the ethics and possibilities of creating devices to increase the chances of extremely premature babies surviving after birth. Artificial wombs are not meant to replace a pregnant mother. Instead, they would act as a womb after birth, delivering oxygen, nutrients, and hormones. This has only been tested in animals. The advisors will look and discuss what a human trial can look like.
Well, from innovative things to things not so innovative for Indiana weather, we're rolling back summer. I'll tell you how hot it gets in my full forecast right after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort.
to get to know each other,
On a deeper level. Father.
cosplayer,
Mentor.
Actor.
It's time we take a step forward
it's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Good evening and welcome back, everyone. I'm NewsLink Indiana weather forecaster Ryan Hill with a look at your Tuesday evening weather picture. Certainly a really nice one out there. I mean, clear, but also look at those temperatures. 69 degrees in Muncie, 66 in Terre Haute, the only cool spot, 61 in Bloomington. But those numbers were a lot warmer. We saw some lower 80s actually, just getting into our area before things cooled down. Well, yes, clear, but you do see a little bit of precipitation to the north, and that is associated with a little bit of a disturbance along a warm front that is riding into our area. The question is, do we see any of that? Well, the air is pretty dry right now, so if any of it falls, it may wind up evaporating before it even gets here. That's what we call virga, evaporating rain. It might look cool if you saw it in the daytime. But here we are. Here's one model view of that. You can see some spritzes right here, Muncie. You may, well, worst case scenario, you could wind up dodging some drops, but honestly, it's still too dry out there. But the other thing, honestly, is the mixed broken clouds that we have in our area. That's just going to be streaming through the area. We clear things out, though, pretty nicely for Thursday. And that sets up our night tonight. 55, another cool night to open those windows. Not as cold, though. Clouds act as a blanket. And also, note that south-southeast wind. That's going to crank up that warmth for tomorrow. We're getting to 80 as those skies clear, with those east-southeast winds cranking up a little bit more. And you've got a ridge of high pressure that's sitting over our area for quite some time, and that's been a huge theme in our weather. That's why we are abnormally dry. That's this yellow color associated with levels of drought. That is called D1, abnormally dry, so we're about 1 to 2 inches below. So that's key that we get some rain here. We're going to watch this ridge move and do its thing and really warm things up. But look at this in the plains here. Got a little bit of low pressure system action to talk about as we work our way into next week, and that cues the mid-7-day forecast. A beautiful warm one, especially if you like summer. We've got an 86 on Friday. Wow, good gosh. But no record territory there. It's going to feel like it. But then as we work our way through fall, first day of fall is on Saturday. It's not going to quite feel like it, but we're going to work in those clouds gradually as we make our way through Monday and Tuesday. And we find ourselves maybe a shot at some decent rain as that system slowly makes its way to our area. So a long stretch of hot and dry. You might even like it, but folks, I gotta tell you, maybe a little shot at some rain for our poor plants who desperately need it.
I know that I'm certainly looking forward to the warmer temperatures, especially going out through this weekend into the weekend for the football game.
Oh, man.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Moving on to Jake.
Thanks, guys. A familiar face with some new feathers and some Ball State squad sort of dominance. All this and more next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jake Garcia with sports. A staple of Ball State sports is flying with new feathers. NewsLink Indiana's Andy Newman went out birdwatching to learn more.
Defense! Defense! A cornerstone of Ball State athletics has finally received a much-needed makeover.
Over the years, we've had some wear and tear on Charlie. He's seen some better days. The Alumni Association generously provided some funds to give Charlie the makeover that he needs, and now the bird that you will see today is generously gifted from the Alumni Association.
That gift has helped the local legend shed his feathers for just the 5th time in the past 53 years of his existence. And this new appearance signifies a change in more than just Ball State's favorite bird, as new athletic director Jeff Mitchell takes flight in his first year on the job.
We are creating our own momentum in many ways, and so as a symbolic gesture, can Charlie Cardinal be that with his new wardrobe? Absolutely. And so we're excited about the energy that he brings to our game day atmosphere and all of our sporting events.
But a change to a fixture like Charlie can ruffle a few feathers. Thankfully, Mitchell and Mulaney feel reactions have been positive.
I think people have liked it. There's no shortage of people wanting to run up to him and take pictures and give him high fives and pounds. And so I think we're very pleased with what we've got.
We love Charlie. Charlie is one of the greatest things about this department, about this university. So we really wanted to embrace him and give him the look that really gives him the proper, recognition inside what he gives. So, he get the weights this off season.
And students are chirping at the same tone.
I honestly prefer the new look. I think he looks more menacing and more like he's ready to win a game.
As Charlie finally spreads his new wings, Mulaney expects the look to stay perched.
Charlie is a staple. He is our rock. Student athletes come and go, but Charlie stays. And so we need to make sure that we were giving him the look he needs.
In Muncie, Andy Newman, NewsLink, Indiana.
Flying over to the course, Ball State women's golf competes in the Brittany Kelly Classic this Monday and Tuesday. The Cardinals held their first home match this week at the Players Club in Yorktown and finished first out of 13 teams. They also had 2 players finish in the top 10 of the individual rankings, with Kaya Parrott finishing second. This goes down as the first win for brand new head coach Cameron Andre. Andre attributes his squad's success to their performance leading up to the final round.
I'm really proud of them. We put ourselves in a good spot starting the final round, and we held serve. We played a really solid round to come out on top, and winning is tough. I just told the team winning is hard no matter what the field looks like. Something that we didn't do at all last year, and to do it on our home course and get the first win of the season is a really good feeling.
Andrew and the Cardinals look to keep their win streak alive as they head to Colorado on the 25th for the Red Sky Golf Week Challenge. Moving from the course to the computers, the Ball State Rocket League esports team faced off against Central Michigan and Akron in a doubleheader on the 13th. The Cardinals flew past their opponents 3-0 and 3-1 respectively. The win against Akron, however, was a very large step for 2 of the players and team, Arlen Burns and Luke Long, usernames Oath and Wova. Akron had been previously undefeated in the ESC since 2020.
I think it was really big for the team, and going into it, I didn't even know, I wasn't aware that was a thing. I didn't know we hadn't beaten Akron before. So I didn't realize how big of a match it was, I guess. But after it was a really good feeling being able to beat a team like that had been a formidable opponent for such a long time.
We got swept 3-0 by them, so going into this year, playing them in the ESC, felt very good to be able to beat them finally.
The team will continue their domination against Northeastern University and Ohio University in the esports room or on twitch.tv/Ball State University this Wednesday. And Charlie Cardinal, new and improved. He was looking pretty snazzy over this past weekend at the football game.
Absolutely. I saw how buff his arms were, and I was like, oh, this is going to be fantastic. No matter where he's at, he's going to be the best dressed. You know what I mean?
He always looks fabulous. In just a few, Charlotte Kisnella joins us with your campus coverage.
And a final look at your weather.
I love you!
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas.
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. My name is Charlotte Kinsella, and this is your campus coverage. With school year starting back up, that means plenty of students are wondering what to eat. That's where Cardinal Kitchen comes in. On the lower level of BSU Student Center is where you can find Ball State's student-run food pantry. Now, this pantry is entirely free and open to all students in their efforts to fight food insecurity here on campus. Their support ranges from supplying students with non-perishable foods to fresh fruits and vegetables, toiletries, and more. Upon arriving, I was able to take the time to speak with Executive Director Brianna Hatfield for more insight on this amazing and helpful process.
That is so helpful for every Ball State student out there that just might need a little bit of extra help.
Absolutely, a wonderful resource, perfect for our students to know about. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Let's go ahead and toss it to Ryan with one last look at weather.
Ooh, man, the weather giving us a lot of help if you're looking for sunshine and warm temperatures. Look at that, 86 by Friday. Ideal for hammocking, whatever you want outside. But definitely bring an umbrella with you as we start next week, making our way to the 70s. Again, more seasonable this time of year with you got some scattered showers mixed in with that though. So that's why the umbrella. So enjoy it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ryan. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night, everyone.